As of now, the only one man who has a lot of votes in Kenya, presidential votes, than William Ruto is the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna. That is according to research and also according to the political analysts in Kenya. Edwin Sifuna is people's darling right now, and given the chance now that people are fed up with the regime of William Ruto, he has a better chance of becoming the president of Kenya as it stands right now. However, Sifuna himself has not declared his interest in running for presidency. I want you to listen to a video of Herman Manyora, analyzing this. There afterwards, I'll give you some of the analysis of today's.
It is Sifuna who has the most votes in the country today.
More than even President Ruto?
Yes. And if you want, we can look for them. They are there. We can tell you he has the most votes. It doesn't mean if he runs, he will win.
Yes.
That's not how politics works.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, just like we have been saying.
Now, according to the political analyst Herman Manyora, Sifuna right now has all the numbers. Initially, before Sifuna came up, many people were looking up to Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president. And they were saying he is the much loved politician who can be President Ruto's competitor. This because he comes from a vote-rich region, not because they have a lot of numbers, not because they like voting, but it's because in Mount Kenya, when you look at the relation of the people with voting cards and also those with the ID numbers, it's almost the same. But in other regions, you find out that people, let's say 1 million people have identification cards or the numbers, but they don't have voting cards. They are not registered as voters. Another thing, Gachagua then was referred to be the best, or the man with a lot of votes, or the presidential votes, because Mount Kenya, they come up in large numbers to vote during the voting day, the actual day. But when you compare with other tribes, you find out that others, perhaps the turnout is around 70, 80 maybe. But with Mount Kenya, they can even turn up 97%. That tells you that it's the vote-rich region. But when Sifuna came, the matrix changed. And right now, yeye ndiye kusema hapa nchini Kenya. In fact, William Ruto follows him closely as per the number of votes. Unfortunately, in Kenya, the number of votes does not translate into, a win. You can have a number of followers, number of voters, number of votes in that sense. But when it comes to winning presidency is another thing. It doesn't apply like that in Kenya. And that is the reason why Raila Odinga was never the president of Kenya for many years, for many elections. But I'll break down the reasons why Edwin Sifuna is loved in Kenya than any other presidential aspirant, or than even William Ruto. Number one, Edwin Sifuna has the backing of the Gen Zs. Edwin Sifuna is loved by the young people simply because he knows how, to resonate well with the young people. He speaks their language. He speaks what they want to hear. He has presented and packaged himself as a young person whose aim is to make Kenya a better place. And that is the reason why, if you look at the whole dynamics, you'll realize with the Gen Z, it's gonna change the political matrix that we know. Number two reason, Edwin Sifuna comes from Luhya community. And the Luhya community is the second largest community with the highest number of voters. So when you combine the number of Gen Zs who love Edwin Sifuna, that backing, you combine with the votes of Luhya community, and trust me, if Edwin Sifuna goes for presidency, the Luhya community will, will follow him. The Luhya community will rally behind him. That take it to the bank. The Luhya community, they are the people who have what we call unity. They may have different sub-tribes, many tribes, many languages within the Luhya community, but a Luhya can never betray a fellow Luhya man. So those people, they have a lot of unity that from a far distance, you think they are not united. But when it comes to a one cause that they want to present a presidential candidate, trust me, all those people will be voting for Edwin Sifuna. Plus this wave that he has right now. So when you consider, rather when you compare, Gachagua having the rich Mount Kenya votes and Edwin Sifuna having the Gen Z votes and the Luhya votes, that makes him surpass the Mount Kenya as votes limit. And that is why we say that Edwin Sifuna has the highest number of votes in Kenya as at now, even is beating William Ruto, the incumbent. Another thing, there are people who feels that Edwin Sifuna is the real change that they need. Edwin Sifuna was a good student of Raila Odinga. So whatever he says, the way he does it, the way he holds his rallies, there are people who believe in the change that he wants to present to Kenyans. And they are following him not because he's a Luhya, not because he's coherent in his speeches, not because of anything. They want a change, and whatever they see in Edwin Sifuna is the pure change they were seeing in Raila Odinga. So if you combine also those people who needs a real change from Edwin Sifuna, you combine with the Gen Zs and also the Luhya community votes, you'll realize Edwin Sifuna is far away. Avoid these useless polls in Kenya. Those ones, they are being paid. Those ones are those that they like the presidency from behind. They want to get better, funding from the president. They are puppets of the current administration. Leave alone those useless polls. But these are the real things that are happening on the ground. And then number 3, Edwin Sifuna has packaged himself as someone who is not tribal. By this I mean, he can go elsewhere and present himself the way Raila Odinga used to do. I've been telling you this again and again. When you look at Rigathi Gachagua, is one person who has centralized himself, his campaigns in Mount Kenya region. He has branded himself as a spokesperson of the Mulima. Yeah? That is why you see him, conducting rallies in Mount Kenya. Not in a Gusii region, not in a Luhya region, not in Luo land. But Edwin Sifuna is all over. Yeah? Edwin Sifuna can go to Nakuru like they did recently, and he pulled a lot of people. He went to Mombasa, Tononoka. He pulled a huge crowd. He went to his hometown, home county, Kakamega. He pulled a mammoth crowd. He went to Busia. The same happened. And right now, he's headed to Meru County. And I'm very sure the same will happen. No any other opposition leader can do that. Not Matiang'i, not Kalonzo, not Eugene Wamalwa. Yeah? And I'm not even talking about Matiang'i. I'm not even talking about Eugene Wamalwa, not Kalonzo. I'm talking about Gachagua, because Gachagua had presented himself as the best suited candidate who will face William Ruto because of the numbers. Not that is good, not that is handsome. It is because of the numbers that he has aligned himself with. He's saying that he's the spokesperson of the Mount Kenya community, and they will determine who leads this country. But again, Sifuna beats them both, Gachagua and William Ruto. And when you look at the matrix of voting in the region, initially we were talking about regions and tribes. I don't know how William Ruto is going to get his votes, because when you look at the Rift Valley region, in fact, even they are not registering as voters. That is why William Ruto While attending the funeral service of the father of CS David Chirchir, he beseeched the Kalenjin community to make sure they have shielded him because they are his last hope. He has lost backing in Mulima, Kenya. The Guzi region has Matiang'i. The Luya community now has Sifuna, in as much as there are other people, they are bigots, but they have Sifuna. Pwani, you know, is a battleground. And then the Luo nation, those people even they don't vote, by the way. Even when the time Raila Odinga was vying for presidency, all they could do is jump up and down from one place to another, Raila, Jacom, but they never voted. So you can never bank on them. But and also in a Luo nation now it's divided. Edwin Sifuna has the better number of Luos backing him. So I really don't know if President William Ruto has a place in this country to defend his next term. I don't know what you think. Those are my opinions. You can have yours too. You can write them in the comment section. I'll make sure I've responded to every comment you write. We'll have a debate. Perhaps it can form a basis of whatever I'm going to talk about in the next video. If you're new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time I bring you a new content.